Hello, how you doing, everybody? So, another day in paradise, Florida. Otro día en el paraíso. So, I'm sitting here watching YouTube and I'm looking at Jordan Peterson. And it's funny because that guy is really smart. And somehow they're trying to take it down. I mean, they are trying to take it down. Why? Well, as you know, corrupted people, they call it this way, they're always going to be against the good people. So the whole thing is he's defending the right, not the wrong. Because as you know, nowadays, if if you do the right thing, it's a bad thing. If you do the wrong thing, it's a good thing. Which is where that's gonna take you? Nowhere. You know that doing the right thing is gonna take you far away. But if you do the wrong thing, that's gonna take you where you don't want to go. Maybe to jail, maybe to the streets, maybe to the drugs, alcohol, you name it, everything. And it's funny because I was looking at the news the other day about, I don't know what state they didn't approve abortion, something like that. And there was thousands of women outside, mad, pissed, because the state didn't approve the law. You know how they say they want to choose for the whole body. And it's funny how somebody was saying, one of those women with power, which is representing all these women's, she was all mad and upset because of that. And this is what I said to these ladies. In my opinion, I mean, everybody think differently, but that's the way I think. Instead of going through the Congress and doing all these things, you should be doing the right thing, which is educating women the right way, not the wrong way. I mean, why taking it to the Congress when there's measure to avoid doing this? How? First of all, let's go into pregnancy. There's many ways to avoid getting pregnant. And everybody knows that. They teach you that since you're in school. Even means that we don't get pregnant, anything like that. We know that. But there's many ways to avoid getting pregnant. So why try to make a law for the mistake that you made? So teach your women how to be responsible. You know what I'm saying? Be responsible. So they don't have to go to the Congress and try to change the law for their own mistake that they made. So you don't have to go that far. Like I said, there's ways to avoid pregnancy, and there's many ways. So it's no excuse. Because I know you guys like to get pleasure, but you're irresponsible. So how you want people to trust you when you're doing something irresponsible? I mean, I understand you want to get freaky, you want to have some pleasure, but yeah, go ahead, do it. It's your own body, like you said. You can do whatever you want, but be responsible. Don't be irresponsible. There's many ways to avoid this, and you know that. So it's crazy. I mean, how bad people are. I mean, they want to. It's like funny. Like if I break the law, I know there's consequence. If they caught me, I'm gonna go to jail. And let's say I don't want to go to jail, so I want to go to Congress, so they can make a law, so I don't have to go to jail for my mistake. Same thing these women are doing, because they don't want to be a mommy, or they broke out with an ass or whatever, any reason. They don't want to have the baby anymore, so they want to pull it out. Listen, for me, if I would have been the Congress, I would have make a law that whoever, I don't care what situation it is, whoever don't want to have a baby and want to get it out, is a crime. It is a crime because you're killing a life. You know how precious is God gave it to us, or well, to women, the desire to create a life, to have a baby. Oh my God, that's amazing. That's the most valuable gift on the whole planet. And for some reason, some women think it's like, that's nothing. They want to get rid of the baby. Come on. Before you get into that situation, like I said before, educate yourself, educate your women, and so they don't have to get to that time on life. Show them how to be responsible. And like I said, there's a lot of ways to avoid pregnancy. So, like I said, let's keep listening to this video of Jordan Peterson. It's really interesting when they're talking about women's, you know, how they put them in four corners and everything is related. There we go.
In before, and it's now just in the manner that you're expressing yourself now, I think it's much clearer now what you are actually against and how you see these male-female dynamics.
Well, the funny thing is that I'm not so much against. When I do this is why interviews are so strange. Mm-hmm. When I do my lectures, I don't talk politically. I'm not against things. I'm for individual people.
It's true.
Individual people.
So
get out there, do your best, tell the truth, set the world in order, have a family, accept some responsibility, fix up your community, and take the beam out of your own eye before you worry about the mote in your neighbors.
That's true.
Yeah. And I like that part of 12 rules and of everything that you're saying. But then there seems to be this other side, or it comes out in interviews sometimes, but it's also in 12 rules, where you equate the feminine with chaos.
I don't do that. No, that's ridiculous. The Taoists have done that for 3,000 years.
I know, but
right, it's not me.
No.
Right.
But you're select.
It's funny, you know? Like he's getting attacked and all he's doing is defending himself. And everything he says is the truth. So it's funny how they want to put you in the corner when people like, because, you know, there's going to be people always against the right things. There's going to be bad people. No matter what you want to do, there's going to be bad people in the whole planet. It's going to be just like in the Bible, back in the time. There was bad people and mean people. They did bad and terrible things. Same thing is happening right now. And guess what? Those people ain't gonna stop until they get or do what they want. But it's our job as a human being to do the right thing. Put a stop into those people. So I don't see what's wrong with doing the right thing. Why we have police? Why we have people to do the law, make sure everybody obey the law? And it's funny, now that I say police, see, we have laws and we have police. And making sure everything is ordered. Same thing with military. But guess what? That doesn't stop the bad people from doing the bad thing, you know? Because there's bad people out there, but that's what's the law and that's why the rules, so you can follow. If you don't want to follow, then you're going to have issue with us. So same thing apply to other people that doesn't want to do the right thing. Everything has consequence. And when somebody like him come forward and want to make sure like people get straight up, because the whole humanity is confused by society, because it's telling you to act that way, do another way, whatever, and it's insane, you know. Just keep listening to this video. You get excited.
You write a book which is an antidote to chaos, and you're selecting the stories in which the feminine is chaos, and also I'm
observing and collecting the stories.
But it's adding up, right? So you also talk about the importance of the Bible, in which women are deemed subservient.
Everything is related.
That's complete rubbish. How in the world could you possibly derive that idea from biblical readings? The most fundamental statement in the Bible, and this is a miraculous statement, it's absolutely incomprehensible that it was written some thousands of years ago.
Thousands of years ago.
Men and women are made in the image of God. Not men.
God.
Men and women.
But you know that there's also passages in there which do posit the woman as subservience.
What passages are you referring to?
Well, where it's told to Adam and Eve that women will henceforth have to obey their husband.
Well, that wasn't what would you say? That wasn't a divine injunction. It was a terrible warning. It wasn't a statement about how society should be structured. It was a statement about the inevitability of that happening because women were going to be vulnerable.
Vulnerable? That's
in
they are.
pregnancy and in child raising.
Yeah.
Every day, more dog people.
Yeah. Just like that. And you know, it's funny that he said that because we live in a world where, like, you know, all these women, single women, and no kids. It's really sad though. Let's get listen.
And bringing it all together. It's fine that you're doing that in your way, but can you understand that to women it may feel like you are against?
What do you mean? It may feel to women like there's no injunction in that story.
No, but
that men have the right to lord it over women.
No,
it's not in the story.
It's not just this story, of course. You know,
what is it? There's heroic females in the entire corpus of the Old Testament, and there's no evidence whatsoever throughout the biblical corpus that women are any less worthy of the kingdom of God than men. And so this is part of the same thing. There's the pervasive notion that even the fundamental documents of Western civilization have this inbuilt patriarchal bias. Look, as far as I'm concerned, that statement that men and women are both made in the image of God, which gives them each a spark of divinity, out of that tiny little statement grew the entire idea of individual human rights. The idea that the state couldn't impose its purview past a certain limit, and that idea grew over thousands of years to provide the relatively free society that we have now. And to assume that is associated in some manner with patriarchal oppression, especially given the time when that was written, is just think about how unlikely it was that long ago those words were penned.
But Jordan, please listen to the question that I'm trying to pose, and it's
not
about this. It's about everything adding up, and that makes women feel that somehow you are.
It's funny, you know, when somebody tried to argue with someone really smart, and the funny thing, he got the answer for everything. And he makes you look like an idiot. And you know, it's funny, like, especially me. I never went to college. I didn't have like a good high level education or anything like that. I would never argue with somebody on that category because why? It's gonna make me look bad. So why would you, in the first place, argue or try to make somebody look bad when he's the one that's gonna make you look bad? Because, like I said, he's done nothing wrong, and he plays by the rule when they don't. And he got evidence. They got nothing. When he asks for something, they look like idiots because they don't know what to say. It's so funny.
And wait a minute before you answer, because you're all about taking responsibility, and that it's very important to look at the consequences of what we do. And somehow a lot of women feel like you're against it. So what's going on there? What's your responsibility here?
You have no evidence whatsoever of what proportion of the people who are watching my videos or listening to my podcast or reading my books who are women feel that way. Your accusations are purely speculative.
It's not an accusation.
Sure,
It's just an observation.
Sure,
It
an
was
observation.
Observation based on what?
Well,
what?
I have women I have dozens of women, hundreds of women who've written me letters thanking me for the books and for what they've done for their sons and for their husbands. And about 30% of the audiences to my shows are now women, and that's increasing as a consequence of the book.
Of course.
So I don't
Not
buy it.
all women. Not all women.
Yeah, well, there's a
It's just like I said, not everybody's gonna like what you do or what you talk about. There's gonna be mean, bad people, and they're gonna be against people like that. So of course, he's gonna have some people that not agree with him and not like what he's saying, because it's just like people that don't like the rules and don't like the law. They want to do whatever they want. But guess what? When people like that do that, they have to suffer the consequence. It's just like you kids at the house, and they don't follow the rules. Guess what's gonna happen today? You know, there's gonna be consequence. So same thing. So you cannot face your life on other people's bad choices. You know, you have to face it on your own choices. So either you're good or bad. So it's nothing I can do to make those people not be bad people. You know, because that's what they choose to do. Just like assets, you know. It's you can follow me or you cannot follow me, you know. It's your choice, but everything has consequence.
full and unspecified percentage of women who may hold the perspective that you describe, but you have no idea what the percentage is, and you have no hard facts on it, and so there's no way of defending myself against it. And the idea that I happen to identify the feminine with chaos is, why is that a problem? Chaos is no worse than order. Order is tyranny. Chaos is possibility. The mere fact that people don't do a close enough reading to understand that these two powers are equally balanced,
just like the Bible,
in that order can be security or tyranny, and that chaos can be potential or uncertainty. The fact that people aren't reading carefully enough to understand that.
That's true. Just like Bible. Some people read the Bible and they don't understand
it carefully enough to understand that. And to say that that's a fabrication on my part is absolutely foolish. I mean, for 40 years, let's say the mystic left has been enamored of the Taoist philosophy. Well, the philosophy that I'm putting forward is the Taoist philosophy. So how in the world can that be laid at my feet? And it's certainly not the only example of the symbolic utilization of masculinity for order. Look at it this way. Why do you think the feminists assume that we live in a patriarchy if they're not identifying masculinity with order? That's what they're doing. But they're doing it symbolically. They don't understand. It's a symbolic issue.
Yeah, but Jordan, you've been asked this question before, but I didn't think your answer. I wasn't quite convinced yet. Your book is an antidote to chaos, and not an antidote to chaos and order, or not.
The next book's an antidote to order.
Yeah, it will be an antidote to order.
And the book isn't an antidote. The book is the antidote to chaos is not order.
No.
Right, that's not what the book's about. The antidote to chaos is the balance between order and chaos. Right? And the book says that repeatedly. It's impossible to read it and actually read it and not to come away with the conclusion that the position that I'm adopting is that the meaningful place to stand in life is halfway in order and halfway in chaos.
Yeah, that's reality though, you know. But like you say, I mean, you analyze everything he said, and you have to figure out like the meaning of it. It's just like I said, when I read the Bible, depend the situation that I'm going through, and everything relate to it. But you have to read and kind of understand what's in the Bible or what you're reading, and somehow it relate in your situation or my situation or their situation. So you concluded from those words, there's kind of a message to wake up and do something about it. But some people don't get it. Or they got frijoles on the brain, or you tell me about it. Well, that's all. Well, it concludes the video. So thank you for being here, participating, and hit likes and share this video. I mean, I don't see why people shouldn't think about this and analyze everything they say. That probably help us how to be better, better future, better life, and how to have better family in the future too. Okay, say that all, and bless you guys, and be good all the time.